can't remember it.
But it's 5 B. Yeah.
2x squared minus 5x. Okay, there we go. So guys, this is the example we're going through. This is the one that was in the test. So I want to show you how we factorize a trinomial. Remember, we say we write our factors on the side. 2 and 1. And we've got 3 and 1. Do you see that? Because I've got 2 there and a 3 there. So I write my factors. 2 and 1, 3 and 1. Now cross multiply. That gives me 1 times 3 is 3. 1 times 2 is 2. If I say minus 3 minus 2, it gives me minus 5. This was a plus 3. Alright, so then I have 2x minus 3, x minus 1. Do you see that? You see how I did that? It's coming back to you.
Yes.
Alright. Shouldn't be foreign. It should be coming back to you. You should be like, oh yes, I remember this. Yeah. We'll prove it. 2x squared. First, outsides minus 2x. Insides minus 3x. Lasts plus 3. That's correct. Okay. Alright, so now, what happens if I have AB plus BC plus AD plus CD? How do I factorize that? Alright, so I take out the common factor here. So I take out B. I left with A plus C. And then I take out D. I left with A plus C. Alright, grouping. Yeah, so now I've got A plus C, B plus D. You guys remember this?
Yes.
It's coming back to us.
Yes.
Alright. How do I multiply? Can I rub off my stats? Alright. How do I multiply a binomial by a trinomial? Multiplying a binomial by a trinomial. Yes. So if I have 2x minus 1 times 3x squared minus 2x plus 4. Yes. Good start. Very good start. Okay. So guys, I multiply the first one out. Alright? And then I multiply the second one. Okay, do you see how I did that? Alright, so now I have 2x times 3x squared gives me 6x cubed. My next term gives me minus 4x squared. My last one gives me plus 8x. Are you happy so far?
Yes.
Alright. Then I times roll by minus 1. So minus 3x squared plus 2x minus 4. Like terms. So I've got x squared and I've got x's. Minus 4. Yeah, minus 4. So now I end up with 6x cubed. 4 minus 4 minus 3 gives me minus 7x squared. Alright, plus 10x minus 4. Okay, you guys happy with that?
Yes.
Okay. That's the answer. Alright, so the next example we're going to do is 6x squared plus 3 x over 2x. And our question says simplify.
Do we separate that?
Alright, so there's two ways to do it. You can separate it or you can factorize it. Okay, so we'll do both. First one, we separate it. We've got 6x squared over 2x plus 3x over 2x. Alright, so this gives us those two, the 2 cancels with the 6 and leaves us with 3. X gives us 1x. We start with 3x plus, the 2 and 3 can't do anything, but our x's cancel. 3 over 2, but now we've got to make it one fraction again. So we times this by 2, so it'll be 6x plus 3 over 2. Okay. Alright, so now let's factorize. So it's better if we factorize it.
How do we make it over 2 and we times 3x by 2?
3 times 2 is 6.
Yeah, you like multiply the upside down thingies and you get it over.
Yeah. Yeah, I just multiply both by 2. Multiply that by 2 to get a common denominator. Alright guys, the factorization way to do it. Method 2. So I've got 6x squared plus 3x over 2x. Let's do the factorization method with a slightly different number. With 4. 4x. Okay.
Madam, you change the 3 to 4.
Yes. Change 3 to 4. Alright, so now I take out my highest common factor. What's my highest common factor? 2x. I'm left with 3x plus 2 over 2x. These two cancel. I'm left with 3x plus 2. Okay.
When we got a y vector, can you put the remaining letters?
Yes.
There was a y cancel.
Madam,
Yeah.
please go to method, that first method again. Yeah.
Do you understand this one?
Yeah.
Then you don't need to know this one.
Madam, but please.
Okay. So basically what you do is you split it up. So that it's 6x squared over 2x and 3x over 2x. Alright? So after you split it up, we then cancel. So 6 divided by 2 gives me 3. So I write down 3. X squared divided by x gives me x. So now I've got 3 over 2 gives me 3x over 2x. The x is cancelled. It gives me 3 over 2. But now I want it under a common denominator. So to get a common denominator, I have to times this by 2. So that gives me 6x plus 3 over 2. Okay. Alright guys. Alright, so now what we're going to do here is the first thing we're going to do is we see there's a number that is not in its prime number. The number that's not a prime number. So the first thing we do is we make it a prime number.
Yes.
Alright, so now I've got 5 times 2 to the power of x minus 2 to the power of 2 times 2 to the power of x minus 2 over 2 to the power of x minus 2 to the power of x minus 1.
Yes.
Okay. So now what I want to do is I want to split this up. Okay, so where I say x minus 2 and x minus 1, I want to split it up. So now I've got 5 times 2 to the power of x minus 2 to the power of 2 times 2 to the power of x times 2 to the power of minus 2
Yes.
over 2 to the power of x minus 2 to the power of x times 2 to the power of minus 1. Okay, you guys happy with this so far?
Yes.
Now, because there's a minus, I can't cancel. Do you see that? Alright. Alright, so now is now we have to take out a highest common factor because we can't cancel.
Yes.
So what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to take out your x. So I'm going to take out 2 to the power of x. What's remaining here? If I take out 2 to the power of x, 5. Minus, what's remaining here if I take out 2 to the power of x? 2 to the power of 2 times 2 to the power of minus 2. All over, I'm going to take 2 to the power of x out. And what's remaining? So what happens if I take 2 to the power of x out of this over here? What's left? 1. Okay, and if I take 2 to the power of x out of this one, what's left? 2 to the power of minus 1. Okay, must I explain this step again? Alright, so what happens is I need to take out my term with the exponent that has a letter. Alright? I need to take out my number with the exponent that has a letter. So my exponent that has a letter is 2 to the power of x. So I take that out. So I take out 2 to the power of x over here. I'm left with 5. Over here, these two remain. So let's underline our 2 to the power of x so we can see what remains. So every time I'm taking out 2 to the power of x, 2 to the power of x, 2 to the power of x, 2 to the power of x.
No.
Yeah.
When you take out 2 to the power of x at the bottom, isn't it 1 minus
2 to the power of 2. Yeah.
No, we did 1 minus 1.
1 minus, well, the minus 1 multiplied onto the 2 to the negative 1.
No, because we have 2.
Yeah. Okay, guys. Alright, guys. So, what happens when I take 2 out of the top one? What's left?
5.
5. What happens when I take 2 out of here? If I take that one away, I'm left with the 2 and the positive 2 and the minus 2. So that's what I write down. Over here, if I take out the 2, what's left? 1. Because if I take out this 2 over here, I'm left with 1 because 2 to the power of x divided by 2 to the power of x cancels, gives me 1.
Yeah. The next one.
Alright? And then the next one I have 2 to the power of x. I take it out, so I'm left with 2 to the power of minus 1.
Well, you're not able to do a minus 1 times 2 to the power.
What's minus 1 times 2 to the power of minus 1? 2 to the power of minus 1.
Oh, I see. Oh.
So you don't need it.
Well, guys, so basically, the question here, guys, the question here is, if I'm taking out 2 over here, shouldn't I say that there's 1 left? Yes, I can, but what is this number times by 1? 5. Itself. It's going to say 5 times 1 is 5. So I don't need to write in that 1. I can if I want to, but I don't need to. So now, I can cancel out my 2 to the power of x's. I'm left with 5 minus, what's 2 to the power of 2 times 2 to the power of minus 2?
Do they cancel?
Type it into your calculator. 2 to the power of 2. What do we do when we multiply numbers? We add the exponents. When we multiply numbers, we add the exponents.
It's plus 1.
What happens if I add these exponents?
It becomes 0 and anything above 0.
2 to the power of 0. Over, and then at the bottom I've got 1 minus 2 to the power of minus 1. Alright, so now what I can do is I can plug this into my calculator.
1 minus a half.
Alright, so I've got 4 over 1 minus 2 to the power of 1. So plug that into your calculator for me. It doesn't cancel out, it leaves you with 1. It's 2 to the power of 0. So guys, plug it into your calculator, what do you get?
8.
4 over, guys, 1 minus 0.5. 8, guys, quiet. The answer is 8. Okay, you need to know how to do this.
Wait.
Power 0. Okay, guys. Alright. So now it says solve for A. Okay. This is a nice easy one, but remember we did making X the subject of the formula. Do you guys remember that? So now we're solving for A. Okay? So if we solve for A, that means we're making A the subject of the formula. Yeah.
That is AB minus A
Equals to. Guys, quiet. Guys. Alright, so AB minus AC is equal to B minus C. Solve for A. So what's my first step here? I take out A. I said A, and I'm left with B minus C is equal to B minus C. So now I say A is equal to B minus C over B minus C. You see that?
So A is equal
So
to.
I divide both sides by B minus C. Okay. So A is equal to 1. Alright, what if the answer came to A is equal to B minus C over C minus B? Could I cancel it? No. No. Does not equal 1. Okay. This is your answer. Guys. Alright. This is your answer. How did I have both 9A2 and 9A4 in this class and they weren't as noisy as you guys? Alright. Guys. B minus C over C minus B can't be simplified any further. This is as far as you can go. Okay. Next. Inequalities. Alright guys, who wants me to go to inequalities? Alright. So guys, if I have
Whoa, before we continue. What is the solve for A? What topic is it?
what topic?
Yeah.
Algebra.
No, like which sub topic?
Is it
Maybe it's the
factorization?
subject of the
Oh, making x the subject of the equation. Alright, so this is equal to x minus 3 minus 2 greater than or equal to or greater than 4.
Oh, this is
Okay.
I knew one about it, you know one was called.
2 minus x. Alright? So this is the next one we're going through, is inequalities. Alright, so what do I do first? It says solve the inequality and write on a number line yes, and in interval notation. Alright, so the way I do this is first thing I do is I take my 2 out from both sides. So I say 3 minus 2 is greater than or equal to minus x greater than 4 minus 2. Are you guys happy with that step?
Yeah.
Alright, so this gives me 1 is greater than or equal to minus x is greater than or equal to 2. Now I need to change the signs because I can't have minus x. So that becomes a plus, that becomes a minus, that becomes a minus. Alright, you see how I did that? I had to change the sign because x was a minus. I need to make that side a minus and that side a minus to make x a plus. I'm times it by negative 1, exactly.
Madam, when does the equal what's that greater than or less than signs swap will change or go up?
Yeah. So this, and then what we have to do here is when we change our sign. Alright?
Madam, is this a different example?
Yeah. When we change our sign, what we have to do is you have to change the direction. Is equal to x equal to minus 2. Alright, so you see I've changed my sign and I've changed the direction of mine. Because that's because when I bring negativity into the crocodile's life, it turns around and walks back out.
Why is it minus 3? Madam, you should have been because
moving the 2 over. When the 2 goes over here, it becomes a minus 2. Okay.
Is this the same example?
Yeah, it's definitely an example.
Wait, was it actually out what?
Guys, it is 2 minus x. Alright, guys. I'm going to start again. So I have 3 is greater than or equal to 2 minus x, which is greater than 4. Okay. So the first thing I do is I have to take my 2 out. So let me use a color. And take my 2 out. Has to go both ways. So the plus 2 becomes a minus 2. Alright, so I say 3 minus 2 is greater than or equal to minus x is greater than 4 minus 2. So then I get 1 is greater than or equal to x is greater than 2. Now, this is minus 2. No?
X cannot be negative.
Alright, x can't be negative. So what I'm doing here, alright, I'm saying, can I rub off the first one over there, the binomial by trinomial? No, like this. Yeah. Alright, so guys, what I'm going to do is I'm going to rewrite that here. I'm going to have 1 is greater than, equal to, minus x is greater than 2. Alright, that's where I'm left with over there. Okay? Then I need to get rid of the minus x. So I make it minus 1 is less than, equal to, x less than or equal to, minus 2. Do you see that? When I times by minus, my crocodile changes direction. Okay? So now, I want to draw this on a number line. I have 2 dots. Alright?
Yeah, the dot.
Which one's colored in? And there's a line underneath. So this one's colored in. Sorry. This one's colored in. So this is minus 1. This is minus 2. Okay. Because remember, your smaller number always goes on this side, your bigger number goes on that side. Your smaller number goes on your left, your bigger number goes on your right. And minus 1 is bigger than minus 2. So minus 1 goes on your right. That's how we draw it on a number line. Then in interval notation, x is an element of, alright, round bracket, minus 2, 2 minus 1, square bracket. Yeah, so it's colored in because it's underlined. Okay.